GDP Company presents.
This is our amazing presentation about Mount Everest. The presenters are Ding,
Carla and Claudia.
3, 2, 1, Happy New Year!
Chapter 1, Basic Information. First things first. Where is it? In the north of Nepal. It sits directly on the international border between Nepal and the Tibet Autonomous Region of China.
A little bit about Mount Everest. Mount Everest is also known as the roof of the world. It is the tallest mountain on Earth, standing at 8,848 meters above sea level.
This is Mount Everest compared to Burj Khalifa in Dubai, the world's tallest building. A bit about Mount Everest. It is located on the border between Nepal and Tibet. This majestic peak has been a fascination for adventurers and mountaineers since it was first successfully submitted in 1953 by Sir Edmund and Tenzing Norgay.
On the left you can see Edmund Hillary and on the right Tenzing Norgay. These were the first two people to reach the top of Mount Everest.
Chapter 2: Tourism and Tourists.
So, what tourist attraction can you find here? Well, the main attraction is the attempt to summit Mount Everest.
To summit means to reach the very top of a mountain. Why do tourists decide to summit Mount Everest? To challenge themselves, to push their limits and test their willpower, and to gain the accomplishment of reaching the world's highest point despite the immense risks, like the death zone.
What types of tourists does this attraction appeal to? Professional mountaineers. Adventure tourists who are physically fit. Wealthy tourists taking part in commercial expeditions.
How many people visit Mount Everest? What types of tourists come here? As of December 2024,
7,269 individuals have summited Mount Everest, with a total of 12,884 successful ascents, considering multiple climbs per person. Each year sees between 700 and 1,000 climbers attempting to summit, with success rates ranging from 60% to 70%.
Visitor statistics. According to the statistics of Sagarmatha National Park office in Manjo, number of visitors to Everest Base, Camp Trek, and tours are about 35,000 each year on average, which is increasing with 500 to 1,000 people willing to summit or climb Mount Everest. As you can see, the number of visitors are increasing.
This is a graph to show the number of visitors since 1990.
Chapter 3: Money.
What do we know about the profit? We need to consider
Commercial expedition companies often charge between $30,000 to $110,000 or more per climber, depending on the level of service, which can be standard or luxury. The Nepalese government recently raised the permit fee to $15,000 per climber during spring season, starting later in 2025. This alone goes to the state and not to the company.
considering that.
Profit earned by the expedition companies. That includes a guide. Guided Everest expeditions generally operate with profit margins in the range of 15% to 30% after all costs. Guides, Sherpas, permits, equipment, logistics are paid.
For example,
That means if a company charges $50,000 for a climb and its total costs are $40,000, its profit could be around $10,000, which is 20% of the total price.
conclusion for profit. While climbing Mount Everest can generate tens of thousands of dollars per client in revenue, the actual profit for expedition companies typically ends up being a fraction of that, roughly 15 to 13%. Some smaller operators might make only a few thousand per climber after all costs, whereas bigger or premium companies can keep more by charging higher prices.
This all seems great! However, tourism in Mount Everest has a dark side. Chapter 4: The Truth.
For example, air in the death zone above 8,000 meters causes hypoxia, hallucinations, and organ failure. Oxygen levels are so low that the body deteriorates. Cells die, leading to confusion, exhaustion, and fatal cerebral or pulmonary edema, which is swelling of the brain and lungs.
This is a common sight while summiting Mount Everest. "304 people have died climbing Mount Everest since records began, with many bodies remaining on the mountain due to difficult conditions.
Bloopers. Text do. Right, Claudia? We are going to record the audio for chapter 1. This is Claudia here recording. No, Nepal!
Nepal.
Nepal!
Hello, I am your English scammer.
Claudia.
Of Nepal.
Yes, Nepal. This is the third time Claudia has been recording the same audio.
The amount of times I rewrite chapter 1.
29,029 kilometers above sea level.
I think it's feet.
I was recording everything, people.